Hi, my name is Shi Hui. I graduated from AES with N level in 2014. I went to Higher NITEC and then Ngee Polytechnic, and I'm currently studying in NTU, major in mechanical engineering. I was a sole breadwinner, and an accident made him jobless when I was in secondary 2. At that juncture, my brother was preparing for his O-level. Thus, I took the initiative to assist my family and work at McDonald's. It was not easy as it was my streaming year in secondary 2. Because I was an introvert, I did not share any of my difficulties with anyone or seek for emotional support. I struggled with emotional distress as there were numerous challenges at home, at school, and at work. However, the teachers who believe in me and have high expectations on me noticed some changes. They approached me and allowed me to open up. They also gave me sound advice to help me cope. I would say that what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Although these challenges may seem tragic, but it has made me who am I today. In life, we'll face many challenges. We should never give up, although we can take a break. I have received many helping hands in the process of growing up. Thus, in return, we should always provide a helping hand to those who need it. Never give up because success comes from failure. You should always believe that you are stronger than who you think you are. We should always strive to improve ourselves and be a better, stronger version of ourselves. Be proud of yourself and stay strong always.
Hi, my name is Brandon. I graduated from Assumption English School in 2010. I'm a professional Muay Thai fighter fighting out of M&A Gym. In 2009, when I was in secondary 3, I discovered Muay Thai. But people did not understand my passion for the sport, as it wasn't so mainstream back then, and it was often associated with violence. I did not give up and continued to pursue my passion by training hard in the gym. Also, there was a nurturing culture in AES, as there was a caring teacher called Mr. Cow, who even offered to pay for my training fee. This act alone motivated me to train hard and pursue sport. That truly made a difference in my life.
He came in as one of the fastest students to finish a 2.4 at around 8 minutes. So, this caught my eye, and which I realized that he has a talent in sports and fitness. So his area of interest and moved towards Muay Thai, and I told him that just go for it. Yeah, pursue his interest after he graduate, and that is where he is now. Yeah. We in AES, we actually believe that all students will have different pathways to success.
Hi, I'm Shaoxi, and I graduated in the year of 2016. Currently, I'm studying visual effects in the Polytechnic School of Film Media Studies. When I was secondary one, I preferred adjusting as I was from Malaysia. The main issue for me was that I was not proficient in my English. This led to the issue in my CCA, as I had trouble understanding the explanation by the instructors, and I became even more introverted. Fortunately, Assumption English School gave me a lot of support. My peers obviously gave their time to help me understand the explanations. My teachers, such as Miss Mira, Miss Straight, worked tirelessly to help improve my language. Then I became even more confident, and I realized that I can make a difference in my CCA to enter people's life. To quote from John F. Kennedy, I decided to ask not what my CCA can do for me, but what I can do for my CCA. I felt I was able to empathize with the juniors who cannot attend initially, and I felt that the support that I had received had put me in a position to pay forward and to help others more. I feel happy and motivated when the juniors I take under me excel and able to help others as well. Surely by the beginning, but it should not have an end. I feel inspired to continue to give and serve despite graduating.
Welcome to Assumption English School, where we learn and grow to become people of character and learning in the service of God and community. Let's take you through our wonderful history. Brother Vincent, a Gabrielite brother, founded our school in 1953 as one of the three components of Boys Town. We were then known as Boys Town English School. By 1955, we had classes from primary 1 to secondary 4. In the same year, the school presented its first batch of students for the school certificate examination. In 1973, we merged with THRJ, Bukit Timah, to become a co-educational Catholic mission school. We then took on the name of Assumption English School in honor of Our Lady, Mother Mary, the patroness of the Montfort Brothers of St. Gabriel. Subsequently, in December 1992, the primary section of the school closed and the students were absorbed by St. Anthony's Primary School. The school went through 2 rounds of upgrading in 1993 and 2013, making improvements to the facilities in order to meet the changing demands of education. And here we are. This school we study in today. This is where we will learn together with our friends. This is where we will learn to care for one another. And this is where we will graduate to become men and women of character and learning in the service of God and community.
Hello, I'm Kaylin and this is Atika.
Hi.
Is this your first time in our campus?
Yes, it is. It looks very big.
Come, we'll show you around. But before that, please take your temperature and do the safe scan. Welcome to our school library. Please write your name down and sanitize your hands. Don't worry, please write your name. What we really love about our school library is the space. The tables, chairs, and air conditioning create the perfect environment for many of us to study in after school.
Totally. Sometimes we even have lessons and consultation with teachers here. Wow, that's nice. It's so spacious, and there are even couches here. I look forward to studying here with my friends after school.
Yep, there's a wide range of different genres. It's like you have and magazines. Welcome to the ASE cabin. ASE stands for After School Engagement. Here, students can come and take a break from play games and bond with each other. Yeah, workshops conducted here from time to time for the students to learn new skills. Hey, there's Jason. Let's go see her.
Welcome to our AES soccer field. Do you know the under 15 national football team actually trains on this very field each week?
Yes, because of our field, we have enjoyed many activities here as a school.
Do you remember last year? We had water soccer and the Assumptionites challenge that ended off with the slide down the inflatable castle.
I had so much fun with my classmates splashing around. Remember when our teacher joined us in the Assumption Challenge as well? Great bonding time with them too.
And of course, besides the school activities, our soccer and softball CCA sessions are also conducted here.
Also offered you CCA. And we even have a special room called the dojo for the judokas to train in.
A very warm welcome.
Our training may be tough, but that's what makes us judokas all the much stronger. I appreciate how we would cheer one another up when some parts of the training seem difficult. That also gives me the motivation to continue pushing on. So let's take a look at how we train.
Let's go, Jose!
Let me show you another relaxing spot around school. We have the counseling. Hi, Mr. Chan.
Oh, hello there. What are you up to?
We're currently bringing our new friend around school.
Oh, hi. You know someone who is going going through a rough patch in the listening ear, feel free to come by my office.
Mr. Chen is in AES, we have two counselors, an allied educator for learning and behavioral support, and a student welfare officer. All of them are very approachable. We are really fortunate to have Mr. Chen in our school.
Oh, you're welcome. And feel free to drop by if you want to.
Sure, we will. We'll catch up with you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, hello everyone. A very good afternoon once again. We at Assumption English School are very glad that you are able to join us for this afternoon session. So before we proceed, I'll just introduce myself again. I'm Siti, I'm the HOD of Mother Tongue. As well as we have here with us is Mr. Benjamin Kwok, our principal. So if you have just joined us and that if you have any questions from us, for us, you may either scan the QR code that is on the slides, that will be on the slides, or you may refer to the link in the YouTube description. So now I will pass the time over to Mr. Kwok, who will share more with you about our school. Mr. Kwok, please.
So good afternoon, parents and students, those who just completed your PSLE. A warm welcome to Assumption English School. First of all, I want to congratulate the P6 students for completing your primary school education. So now you can look forward to secondary school, learn to be more independent, self-directed, and really discover your interest and passion, all right, in life. So that's something to really look forward to. So this particular slide, you can see a photo of the school. All right, look from a certain high angle. That's the entrance of the school. It's really a beautiful school with a nice pond, greenery, and so forth. Many parents and students, when they visited the school, they fell in love with the school when they see this. All right. So anyway, this school, right, Assumption English is about 5 years old. All right, 5 years old from its last major upgrading and repairs. So in terms of the facilities and what we have, they are relatively new, very up to date, and really beautiful. Just now, earlier on, you have seen the video. You have seen that there's a dance studio, there's a black box for drama, and then we also have the two indoor basketball court, one outdoor basketball court, beautiful football field. So everything is pretty new and updated as well. So next year, we can look forward to 7 Sec 1 classes. I say again, we can look forward to 7 Sec 1 classes with 4 classes largely from the express stream, all right, 2 from the normal academic and 1 for the normal technical stream. If you look at the history of the school, we were founded, all right, in 1953, basically to cater to the needs of the community. I think way back then, I think the community was largely quite challenging. All right, I think it was post-World World War. Things were tough, and therefore the school was created to really cater to the needs of the boys, especially during that period of time. All right, and that is part of our DNA, which is really to reach out, all right, to students, to help them, to nurture them, to grow them, all right, to their fullest potential. All right, next slide. Next, okay, this slide, our identity. I'll go through this slide in particular because many a times people get a bit confused, all right, by our identity. Now, the school is situated in this big compound known as the Boys Town Community. All right, it is a big compound, and in this big compound, actually, there's 3 institutions. one of which is Assumption English School, founded in 1953. And then we have Assumption Pathway School, founded in 1938. And of course, we have the Boys Town Boarding Home, founded in 1948. Now, firstly, about Assumption English School first. Now, we function as a typical secondary school, all right? Similar to any other government secondary school, we function the same way. We offer the O levels as well as the N levels curriculum. So I just want to make it very clear. We function like a typical secondary school. The school fees are the same, all right? The curriculum, the O levels as well as the N levels, they are all the same. There's no difference, all right? Now, why do I say that? It's because many a times people are confused with us with Assumption Pathway School. Now, Assumption Pathway offers a vocational curriculum, a more hands-on applied curriculum meant for students after they leave their PSLE. All right, they are more suited to a vocational curriculum to learn skills, all right, such as baking, culinary, hairdressing, all right, things like that. All right, so these are the students that requires that kind of applied curriculum, and APS caters to this group of students. So if you look at this year's PSLE results, I believe there's about 2%, less than 2% of the students that are taking the PSLE, they will be channeled to schools like Assumption Pathway. So theirs is an applied vocational curriculum. Okay, next we have the Boys Town Boarding Home. Now, Boys Town, there's also a bit of confusion here. Boys Town and Boys Home. Now, these are two different institutions. Now, Boys Town are really meant for boys who come from difficult, challenging home background. They could be orphans as well. Of course, in the past, there were more residents in Boys Town. Nowadays, largely much lesser. All right. Whereas for Boys Home is actually an institution it's a place of detention actually for youth offenders who have broken the law. All right. So that is in Jurong West. So I want to say again, Boys Home is in Jurong West, whereas Boys Town, all right, is in Upper Bukit Timah, all right, part of the Boys Town community where Assumption English School is in. All right. So for coming back to Assumption English as well as Assumption Pathway, we are in the same compound but in different location. It is a very big compound. In fact, the school entrance is different. All right, Assumption English, our entrance is along Upper Bukit Timah Road, whereas Assumption Pathway is along Cashew Road. I must admit, the school uniform is a bit similar in terms of the colors, but for Assumption Pathway, the uniform is tucked out, whereas ours is tucked in. But what is the same is the school crest. We share the same school crest. And similarly, I think the schools from the Montfort family, Montfort Junior, Montfort Secondary, Primary, St. Gabriel's Secondary, their school crest, they're all the same together with us. All right, because we all belong to the same Montfort Brothers of St. Gabriel's. All right, so I just want to say again, for the three institutions, there are three different leaders to lead the three different institutions. All right, different set of staff, different school building, different buildings as well, different facilities. So basically, it is three different entities. Okay, next. Something to do with our identity again, all right, because many a times people ask, why the name Assumption? All right, why the name Assumption? As I mentioned before, we were founded by the Montfort Brothers of St. Gabriel's, so they had this very special devotion for Mother Mary, all right, Mother Mary, because she's the mother of Jesus. All right, so they have this special devotion, and this special devotion is also in part due to the Saint Louis Marie de Montfort. We have this special love and devotion for Mother Mary. So when the school became co-ed in 1973, all right, our school name was changed to Assumption English School. All right, originally it was known as Boys Town English School. So because it became co-ed, I think Assumption English School would be more appropriate. All right, because as a co-ed school, you want to be like, still retain the word Boys Town there, the word boys especially. Okay, so that's the meaning of Assumption, in honor of Mother Mary. So in terms of school affiliation, next slide. All right, as mentioned earlier on, All right, the St. Gabriel's family, all right, both the primary and the secondary, Montfort Junior and Montfort Secondary, as well as Assumption Pathway, we all belong to the same family in a sense because we are all founded by the same brothers, the Montfort Brothers of St. Gabriel's. Another affiliation which parents and students may be interested in, especially if you are looking at the track towards JC to do the A levels. All right, our affiliation would be to Catholic Junior College. All right, we are affiliated to Catholic Junior College, and because of this affiliation, you will enjoy some bonus points. All right, when you apply to CJC. So, important fact for parents and students to take note of. Next slide. So, our school vision, mission, and values. Our school vision, mission, and values is to produce men and women of character and learning in the service of God and the community. So it's always in the service for a higher purpose, all right, for our faith as well as to serve the community. And how do we do that? The Montfortian spirit of learning, charity, and love is very important. So what the teaching of Montfort, this particular saint, is going to be something that is going to be told to the students, especially during lessons, during CCE lessons, and so forth. Although it comes from a saint, but the values, the message are universal. All right, in terms of character and values education. Okay, and in terms of our school values, all right, you call it the Christ values for compassion, humility, respect, integrity, sense of responsibility, and trust. All right, so that's our vision, mission, and values. Next slide. So next we come to some school routines as well as Catholic activities. Now, part of our school routine, because it is a Catholic school, we will start off the day with the morning prayer and reflections. But of course, what happened to those students or as well as staff who are non-Catholics? Maybe just to let everyone know, we are a very inclusive school in terms of the student population. All right, in terms of students, in terms of the faith, the religion that they practice, in fact, we have 20%, 21% of our students who are Buddhists, 18% of our students are Muslims, 6% of our students are Hindus actually. So it is diverse, just like how Singapore is diverse, but at the same time, as a school, we are inclusive. All right, we value and embrace everyone. All right, so back to school routines, we have our daily morning prayer. And what happened to those who are non-Catholics? What I would advise these students is it's a moment, a very precious moment to really pause and reflect and really honor your own faith, your own God in your own way, and also to be grateful, all right, to your own faith as well as to your own God as well for the day ahead. All right, so that's something for our students to bear in mind. And I think it's a very good start to the day where we all pause and have a quiet moment. Now, of course, for each year, we have 3 masses. One mass to start the year, another one for Founders Day, which is normally in April, and then another mass to end off the year. And then for Catholic students, we also have the Faith Alive session for them to deepen their own faith. That's on Friday. And then a second CCA for Segment Catholic students. We call it the Young Montfortian Associates. All right, that's also on Friday afternoon. And then there's an overseas retreat for the Sec 3 Catholic students. All right, but at the same time, a more important one would be a cohort overseas trip. A cohort overseas trip for whole of Sec 2 students. Of course, this year we couldn't have it because of the COVID virus, but on a typical year, the whole cohort will travel overseas. So prior to the COVID, all right, our students will travel to places like Thailand, Vietnam, Cambodia as well. But looking ahead, likely we will be traveling closer to home, likely in Malaysia, if and when the safety measures are lifted. But I don't think it'll be so soon. I think we have to be careful with this. All right. So that is something about the school routine. And if you take a look at this particular slide, you see a picture of Montfort. All right, a picture of Montfort, all right, carrying a sick person. So maybe it's a chance for me to tell a very short story about Montfort. This story about Montfort is in Dinun, a place in France. All right, One day after a hard day's work, Montfort was going back to the priest's house. He was going back to the priest's house, and because it was late at night, and in the dark alley, he saw this very sick person, all right, who needed help. And for Montfort, he carried this sick person back to the priest's house with the intention of nursing him back to health. All right, when he reached the priest's house, he knocked on the door. But the housekeeper did not respond. Maybe he didn't hear or whatever. So what Montfort did was he shouted at the top of his voice and he said, "Open the door to God." All right. And at this point, the housekeeper panicked. Then he shouted again, "Open the door to God." Now, some of us, we may be wondering, why did Montfort say, "Open the door to God"? Why? Now, for Montfort, why he said that, he didn't mean that he was God. But what he meant is that the person that he carried, all right, the sick person. So for Montfort, those who are sick, those who are marginalized, the destitute, the last, the lost, and the least, for these people, all right, who have been disadvantaged, he sees the face of God. So that's the lesson that we want to learn, is to teach all our students, ourselves as well, and remind ourselves that we have to honor everyone, to be inclusive and to be of help to those who really need the help, especially those who are marginalized in society. So that's something we always ingrain in our students as well as our staff. So that's a very short story of Montfort. Okay, next. One of our unique programs is known as the Applied Learning Program, for short ALP, and it's named the SPEAK program, Speak English with Grace and Knowledge. So basically, it is a program to enhance, all right, the skills and competencies of our students in terms of the use of the English language. So what do they do? For Sec 1 students, they will create book trailers, little videos to represent books that they have read. All right, so that's very interesting, using technology as well. All right, for Sec 2 students, even more exciting, all Sec 2 students will go through a reading of the news program. So every Sec 2 students will read the news to the whole school. On a typical normal year, they will do so after the flag assembly. So they will pick their own news, all right, and then they will prepare, rehearse a bit, and then they will read like a newscaster in front to the whole school. So isn't that exciting? So every Sec 2 students will get a chance to do that. Then for our Sec 3 students, as they are older, they will champion, all right, for things that they believe in. All right, they will campaign for it. It could be for maybe the environment, for animals, all right, against bullying and so forth. So it's very exciting. And also there's a very strong debate program as well. All right, next slide. As an extension to the SPEAK program, this year, selected Sec 2 students were trained, all right, and they were guided to learn how to make films, all right, and when they were producing their films, they recorded their films only using the simple handphone. Actually, now this handphone no longer simple, but they were using their handphone, all right, to produce their films, and we culminate with film festival, all right, on the 20th of November, just recently only. So that was wonderful. The students responded very well, and that's something we will continue to develop, all right. When things get to a more steady state, we'll reach out to more Sec 2 students with regards to this particular program, part of the SPEAK program. Okay, next slide. So what happens to teaching and learning in the school, now, especially for Sec 1 students? All right, we want learning to be very authentic. It is not always within the classroom. If we take the example of mathematics and sciences, they get to fly kite, they learn how to make paper planes, to understand about aerodynamics. So things like that. So bring them out to the field. All right, they'll run around with their kites and so forth, but at the same time, learning about mathematics concepts. Now, just to let all parents and students know as well, all right, for all schools in Singapore, next year we'll be embarking on this personalized digital learning program, PDLP, as well as blended learning. So this will happen to all schools in Singapore. So therefore it includes us as well. So those from March onwards, students will be equipped with a computer. For us, likely it will be a Chromebook. All right, there'll be chances for them to learn online in an independent manner, and we will assign certain periods of time, all right, during the course of the year for them to do this kind of learning. All right, and we call it blended learning. So this will happen in our school as well as all the other secondary schools in Singapore. And of course, for us, Assumption English, we are also a pilot school for full subject-based banding. All right, so for next year, our Sec 1 classes, the form classes will be mixed in the sense that the three streams will be mixed together. All right, so by 2024, all secondary schools in Singapore will be managed in this manner. So we are pilot school. So next year we'll be championing this, and there's a lot to look forward to because it is indeed a more inclusive environment. All right. However, I just want to mention that for this full subject-based banding for the core subjects like English, mother tongue, mathematics, sciences, the humanities, it will still be taught by the three different streams. All right. But there are subjects like design and technology, food and nutrition, music, art, PE, all right, CCE. This will be taught in a mixed form class. Okay. Next slide. So another very important, unique program for us is the Dinun Leadership Program. And remember just now the story I mentioned just now about Montfort in Dinun. So we have used the name Dinun to name after our leadership program. So if you look at the two unique programs that we have earlier on about the English language and this one about leadership, it is really to prepare our students, all right, to be future ready. All right, to be future ready. So in terms of leadership, students will have a chance, all right, to lead, especially in the context of maybe science, all right, especially our young scientist program. Our students actually lead other students on the science curriculum, and recently our young scientists program, the students, all right, actually led students from Montfort, St. Gabriel's, as well as Assumption Pathway on an online virtual, all right, science and mathematics, as well as English language kind of mass escape game, all right, where they apply concepts that they've learned for mathematics, science, as well as English. So that was pretty exciting. And then for our students, in terms of environmental efforts, they'll think of ways to really save the environment. At Sec 1, they communicate this within school. Sec 2, they will reach out to the community. And of course, Sec 3, they will go overseas and do the same as well. And a very important aspect of our Dinun Leadership Program, next slide please, is also our Flag Day. Now, parents may think, what's the big deal with Flag Day? So we actually raise funds for Boys Town as well as for St. Gabriel's Foundation Flag Day. So Flag Day is actually a very important event, I feel. When I first joined the school in 2018, when I heard about Flag Day, I was a bit uncomfortable. And when the actual day came upon us, I was actually quite nervous because I felt very uncomfortable to be walking around with a tin and to ask for donation actually. But I was very humbled and inspired by my students as well as by my teachers because they were so focused and they were so strong in their belief in supporting a good cause, and the way they overcome rejection after rejection, meaning they will approach strangers for donation and sometimes they get rejected, but they'll pick themselves up again and carry on again. And I feel this is so important. And after going through it, I must say, it really builds up resilience. It really builds up resilience. And you just pick yourself up and go again. All right. Actually become a bit more thick skin actually. So I think it's good for all of us. All right. So it builds resilience in that sense. So next slide. We have our CCA. So first I would like to touch on, all right, sports and games, all right. So for sports and games, we have our basketball, we have floorball, football, judo, as well as softball. Among these sports, 3 of it is DSA, but we do open up these sports to any of our Sec 1 students because we can really develop you to the best of your ability, For example, for basketball, in 2018 and 2019, we actually developed two boys, one for each year. All right, they were so good, they were selected to represent the national youth team, all right, for basketball. So that's for basketball. For football, we have a very strong ecosystem whereby our school coach is also the national coach. All right, our school coach is also the national coach for the under 15 years old boys. All right, and because of this, we have a strong partnership with FAS, and then the under 15 national team, the boys, they were trained in our school field as well. So with this arrangement, actually it inspires our boys, to say, wow, so that's the standard they would like to aspire towards. So that's a wonderful thing. All right. Then for judo, actually the current national team, the judokas, I think there are two of them. The male team, the men's team, I think they are from Assumption English School as well. All right. So we do have a very good, strong sports culture in the school. Next, we have the UGs. All right, we have the NCCC. It is not NCC land, this is NCCC unit. So you can expect activities which is more water-based. So it's pretty exciting, kayaking, sailing, and so forth. And then we have NPCC, the Girl Guides, as well as the Red Cross Youth. So for our UGs, they are high performing, and most of them are in the distinction as well as gold units. Okay, next slide. We have the performing arts. We have the choir, the concert band, as well as the dance ensemble, and they have done very well as well in the Singapore Youth Festival, all right, achieving certificate of accomplishment as well as commendation. I must say their performance has been wonderful, excellent, especially the dance. All right, we receive a lot of accolades from people who have watched our dance troops performing. Okay, next one, we have our club and societies. All right, we have the ELDDS with a strong focus on drama and debate, as well as for the Green Club. All right, and for drama, they've done very well as well, achieving a certificate of accomplishment. And for our debate, we are very strong in the debate, very strong debating culture within school as well as outside school. We always compete, all right, all the debate competitions, and we have done normally quite well as well. So with all of this, many parents are wondering, so at the end of it, where do our students go to when they leave Assumption English School? So these are the set of results in terms of our students after they completed their national exams. Where do they go to? I will just pause here for a while for parents and students to digest this particular slide. Okay, for the O levels, okay, for 4 Express, 45% of them are eligible for JC, and 87.9% of them are eligible for the Polytechnic. That's for our 4 Express. For our 5 NA students, means those of them who after 4 NA decide to come back for Sec 5 to do the O levels, eligibility for Polytechnic was 71.4%. Excellent results. All right. And then for our 4N students, eligibility for Sec 5 is 76.6%. And for the 4 normal technical students eligible for ITE is 100%. I want to say again, for the 5 NA students, eligibility for Polytechnic at the national level, it hovers between 50 to 60%. All right, so we're doing well. Okay, next slide. So beyond the results, I think like what I say, we want our students to be well-rounded. So our student outcomes, we want our students to have a sense of fortitude, mastery, as well as charity. Fortitude in the sense that we want them to be determined and full of courage, all right, in the midst of challenges and much difficulties. So we want our students to be like that. Mastery, to always want to improve themselves in terms of their skills, their competencies, in terms of their knowledge, in whatever they want to do. Always have that humility to want to improve themselves always. All right. And of course, the heart of charity. The heart of charity to want to help and serve others. Critical. That's in our DNA. All right. In Assumption English School. So who are the kind of people that come out of Assumption English School? Who are our alumni? So let's take a look at the next slide. So I'm not sure whether you recognize the people over here. But if you see the sportsman in the middle, his name is Lee Wang Yu, all right, a Singapore Olympian, all right, multiple gold medalist for the SEA Games as well. Although he's retired, but he was a very famous Singapore national shooter. All right, he has graced school events during Sports Day as the guest of honor as well. How about the lady, all right, over there? Do you recognize her? She's none other than Miss Vanetta Lopez. Yes, she's also an alumni of Assumption English School. She's quite a famous TV and radio personality. I think you probably can hear her on radio almost every day. All right. How about the young chap on the wearing that red T-shirt? You probably don't recognize him, but I think you'll recognize the name on his T-shirt. It says Carousel. I think parents, you would have that Carousel app, right? Yeah. So anyway, his name is Mr. Marcus Tan. He's one of the co-founders. All right, he's one of the co-founders for Carousel. So in fact, last year, came back to school, give a talk to the students and to the teachers. We were all so excited, all right, and to hear his stories about his life as a student in Assumption English School, and after that, what did he do and how did he venture, all right, into this online IT business and started Carousel. Okay, so next slide. So I've come to the end of my presentation. All right, today is actually the last session for Saturday for the virtual open house. At this point, I just maybe want to move over to the conference room where I just want to show all the parents and students, all the people, my key personnel, and so forth, working so hard in the background to make this virtual open house come true. Let me just bring you through. Okay, we are walking to the conference room, just a short walk. All right, so these are the busy officers making this happen today for this virtual open house. You want to say hi? This one, very muscular and big size. That's one of my PE teacher. And then, of course, this is Miss City, the MC for today's event. All right, so next slide. So with this, I just want to thank parents and students for your kind attention. And after this, we'll move on to the Q&A section. I think we'll be meeting some parents as well as some of our alumni as well. Thank you, parents and students.
Okay, hello everyone. We are all very happy that you are able to join us this Saturday afternoon. So this is the first year that our school is actually running our open house online. Okay, and as the saying goes, necessity is the mother of all inventions. Goes to show how human resilience has triumphed over challenges when we set our minds to it. Okay, so for our live Q&A session, our first session is with our parent volunteer as well as our alumni. So we have here today is our parent volunteer, Miss Vivian, as well as our alumni, Frederick. So hi everyone, how is everyone doing?
Hello. Good. Very good.
Okay, good to see you. Okay, so maybe we'll just start off with a question, because I'm sure a lot of our parent audience would like to know, especially from Miss Vivian. Was AES the school of choice for you and your child after she received her PSLE results?
Yes, actually we came for the open house, but of course our first choice was the affiliation school. So we did go to around a few schools because we are looking for mission school. So actually AES is one of our choice. Yeah.
Okay, so maybe you can also share with us how do you maybe share with us what do you appreciate most about the school?
I think it's the teachers and the environment there. Yeah, the teachers are approachable and they really like help them, especially during the HBL this year. It's really different. So yeah, the teachers really put in lots of effort in the HBL and everything. Yeah. So our parents volunteer group, we did a small party for them after that. Yeah, to show our appreciation. Yes.
Yes, we remember that, and we really appreciate
Yeah.
the food and the drink that they prepared for us.
Yes, that's
Okay,
right.
so
Yeah.
just wondering, yeah. So especially I remember the tea and the little sandwiches. Yeah, that was very nice. Okay, so maybe another question was that just want to know what was a high point for your child in AES.
High point. Oh, you mean what do you mean by high point? Like as in?
It means something that's very positive and that your child was very excited about
Oh,
in the
oh, yeah,
daily.
yeah. It's mm, actually the teachers, the teachers do keep her moving, and also the curriculum, I should say, because she enjoyed during the weather assessment where they have this history investigation and the geography investigation. Yeah, it's very how to say, like engaging. Yeah, very and interactive and engaging. Yeah. So actually, I'm glad the school gave them this curriculum.
Okay, thank you. So I think next we will have a few questions for our alumni, Frederick. Okay. Okay, so for Frederick, right? Um, was AES your first choice of school when you were choosing schools after you received your PSLE results?
Well, for me, right, because I'm born into a Catholic family, my parents always wanted me to go to Catholic school. So that's one of the reasons why I chose AES as my first choice. The second reason is because AES is near my house, so I just take one bus and I will reach school around like 15 minutes or so. Yeah.
Okay, that's good to know. Okay, perhaps you might want to maybe you can share with everyone here about one memorable moment that you have had back in school and how
That
has
one,
AES changed you? Mm.
right. So for that one memorable moment, I would say is during my council life, because I was the student councillor. So during my years of student council, I help out in all the events, assisted in them, help out in the planning stage and execution. So throughout this time, I got to know more people, got to make new friends with the student councillor, and like to me, I find like the student council is like a family. We always share things with one another, talk to each other. Beside academic stuff, also like non-academic stuff. Like we feel, I feel like we are quite bonded. That's one good thing, one moment that I really enjoy. As for how AS has changed my life is through the service that I done, like especially for student council and even for my CCA, NCCC. Uh, through the service, I learned how to serve others, not just my serve the community, serve myself also. Yeah.
Okay, so I also come to find out that you were in NCC during your time in AES. So maybe you can share with us what are some of the things that you enjoy about your CCA?
Well, sure. So for me, I enjoy most definitely making friends with my cadets, my seniors and my juniors, also my batchmate. All the skills that I learned from NCC, a useful skill. It's quite useful to me, I feel. And another thing is because I also the platoon sergeant. I got as a staff sergeant. So beside what I learned in classroom, I got to learn other soft skills, how to lead a cadet, how to lead a group of people confidently. So that's one important thing I would say that I learned.
Okay, thank you, Frederick. So we'll just move back to Miss Vivian. So perhaps Miss Vivian, what will you tell parents who are contemplating whether to send their child to AES right now?
Oh, okay. Actually, the school, the environment, and the teachers are very good. So shouldn't contemplate. Just come and join us, and please join our PSG too. Oh dear.
Okay, all right. So maybe before we move on to the next segment, we'll just have one last question for Frederick. Okay, so we would just want to know, okay, now that you have spent 4 years in AES, so what have you come to love about the school?
Okay, so what I feel that is the culture of AES is very nice. Like the teachers are always there to help the students when they are in need. In terms of academic or non-academic stuff, they are very approachable, which I always approach them during my 4 years of in AES, be it for my studies or for other personal stuff. Not only that, the I managed to make friends with people from the school. So there's always a saying that secondary school you get to make new friends, and that friendship that you make in secondary school will never fade away. It's a long-lasting one. So friendship is one thing that I made throughout my secondary school life, and until now I still got stay in contact with them. Yeah.
All right, thank you so much to Miss Vivian as well as Frederick. So we will say goodbye now because we will be moving on to our Q&A segments with the principal as well as our key personnel. Thank you so much for spending your Saturday afternoon with us to share with our audience about your experiences with AES.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay, hello. So now we have moved on to the next Q&A segment. Sorry, okay. So we have here with us Mr. Kwok. So hello, Mr. Kwok. He's back at his office. Okay, and then we also have with us Miss Wong, who's our vice principal, and as well as Mr. Desmond Wong. Okay, so he's the guy in, assisting our HOD, OP, and CCA. Okay, so for question one, I'm sure the questions that we are going to ask are actually questions that the audience have given to us. So the first question is, okay, this actually comes from a parent who who says that, who shared that when he actually told his friends that he wanted to send the child to AES, and that thought that the school has a bad reputation. So maybe would like to address the question to Mr. Kwok.
Yeah. So this question came about. In fact, it's a question which we actually anticipated. That's why in the earlier slides, I went about explaining about the school identity. And really, if we look at the whole compound of Boys Town, it is a large compound. But at the same time, there are 3 institutions in this large compound. So basically, there's confusion in a sense. Let me explain. I think in the past, when post-war, all right, we had many difficult moments where families were broken up, all right, and there were many orphans as well. So therefore, Boys Town were an institution that took in a lot of these boys, and because when Boys Town took in a lot of these boys, they needed education. All right, they needed an education, and that's where AES in a way was formed. All right, to receive some of these boys. And of course, it continued until 1973. So in the past, the numbers were definitely larger. And definitely in the past, if you think about how things were going on in the past, definitely it was much more difficult. But I would say that as Singapore developed, definitely the situation in Boys Town also started to improve. In fact, the numbers there right now are much smaller. In fact, a lot of the boys there right now, they are fostered out to foster families as well. All right, and they are very well taken care of. All right, so in terms of the numbers of students coming from Boys Town to Assumption English School, I must say we do receive. All right, at the moment, it is a total population of boys coming from Boys Town is less than 10. Less than 10. But beyond the small numbers, I believe the boys are actually wonderful kids. They are wonderful kids, able to contribute to the school, able to contribute to Boys Town and so forth. In fact, one of the boys who just joined us last year is a wonderful footballer. I'm so proud of him. So indeed, these kids, these boys, they all have their own gifts, their own talents. All right. And as a school, we embrace everyone. So some of the negative perception could be in the past, people think that a lot of the Boys Town boys are really very hard to manage. And when they come over to Assumption English School, and therefore they become a threat to other students in the school as well. But this is definitely not true. I would like to say again, this is definitely not true. All right. And if possible, I would like to invite parents to come and have a look at the school as well. All right, if possible. All right, but of course, with the COVID situation, we have to abide by safety measures. Another confusion, of course, is between Assumption English, us, ourselves, as well as with Assumption Pathway. So just now I explained to you, we are two different schools, all right, within the same compound, but different location. All right, different entrances as well. Assumption English along Upper Bukit Timah Road, Assumption Pathway along Cashew Road. We have a different set of curriculum. This is a more hands-on. All right, ours function like a typical secondary school. Now, I must say that for Assumption Pathway students, all right, if you look at this current year's PSLE results, I believe less than 2% of them, all right, did not qualify for no, 2% of the population of students taking the PSLE exams did not qualify for secondary school education. So where do they go to? Some of these kids, they will move on to a more vocational based hands-on curriculum in schools like Assumption Pathway School. So some of these kids, they require closer monitoring, they require closer support and help, all right, because their talent lies elsewhere. Not in reading the books in a typical fashion, but more in a hands-on manner. Therefore, in that sense, they require a different kind of environment, a different kind of teaching style as well. And for these kids, sometimes they are wonderful kids, but sometimes they will sometimes fall into making choices that are not so sound. Uh, and sometimes it can be quite sad because if you go deeper, you look at the kind of home background that they come from, it is indeed quite disadvantaged actually. All right, it is indeed quite disadvantaged. But I would say this, Assumption Pathway has got an art restaurant within the same compound. It used to be open to the public. Under normal circumstances, the public can come to the restaurant and eat, and you can actually see the students cooking and also doing the waitering services to all the customers. All right, you get a chance to see the students and you will know that these kids are actually wonderful kids, no issue at all. But I must say that sometimes they will make wrong choices. And then when they make wrong choices, sometimes the public perception is that, oh, these are possibly Assumption English school students. So, but I would like to assure parents that by and large, our students, they behave very well. All right, they don't get themselves into a lot of trouble, but it's just that the confusion of the identity, and therefore people may have this misconception that it is a school with a lot of issues, and when you hear people talk about us, they may become a bit more cautious and yeah. But I would say this, if you are really not sure, I would invite you to come down, all right, and I can have a chat with you, and yeah, you can have a look at the school as well. All right, I think we will abide by safety measures, and yeah, and see for yourself. Indeed, it is a beautiful school with a beautiful culture, where everyone really cares for everyone, very people centric. And I would say this for my teachers: we all work very hard, all right, to support the. In fact, this is the fourth live session that we have engaging parents. Regardless of the number of parents that we have, we are here live to engage you, to answer all your questions. Why is that so? Because we work that extra bit so that we are able to help and nurture more students, and also to correct the misconception that people have of us as well. All right, so yeah, that's something from me. Thanks.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Kwok. So our next question. Before I move on to the next question, I just want to say that for those of you who have just joined us, and if you have any questions to ask, you can actually click on the Google Form link that's under the YouTube description. Okay, so for the next question, we their parents would like to know about the school's CCA. What time does CCA? What days CCA carried out on? What time does it end? As well as whether the school shares the facilities with Assumption Pathway and Boys Town. So I will direct the question to Mr. Desmond Wong.
Okay, hi everybody. I will answer this question. Thank you for the questions, right? Okay, maybe I'll just answer the questions one by one. All right. For the facilities that we have in the school, basically, we will share facilities with Boys Town and Assumption Pathway, but mainly the sharing will come in terms of the school astroturf, okay, also known as the football field, and we do also share one of the three basketball courts that we have in the school with Boys Town for their sports engagement sessions. All right, so that is for the facilities that we have in the school. As for CCA, we have 14 CCAs in the school. All right, namely 5 uniform groups, 4 sports CCAs, and 3 performing arts CCAs. So these CCAs, right? Out of these 14 CCAs, we have 3 CCAs that's being offered on as a direct school admission, namely the basketball, football, and judo CCA. So most of our CCAs will have 2 days of training practice sessions in a week. Some of them can go up to 3 times when it's nearing to the peak season in terms of competition and festivals. So these CCAs, in terms of CCA wise, right, we also have the CCAs on Fridays sometimes, okay, depending on the period of time that we have. Yeah. So the thing is, we want our students to really work hard for what they set out to achieve in terms of CCA. Yes, and yeah, these are the.
Can I add on for the sharing of facilities? I just want to clarify, especially for the sharing of facilities for the football field or maybe one of the basketball courts. What happened is this: there are stipulated, structured time, all right, to be used by Assumption English, Assumption Pathway, or Boys Town. So largely for Assumption Pathway, the CCAs are normally conducted during curriculum time. All right. And for us, our CCAs are normally conducted after school. So in a sense, there is no overlap. So for Boys Town as well, they only use the facilities at certain time, all right, and it is all stipulated in a kind of a timetable, all right, so that there is no overlap, all right. So I just want to assure parents as well, all right, on this matter. Yeah, thanks.
Okay, so maybe I can add on to the answer to this question, right? Most of our CCA days falls on Tuesday and Thursday. Yeah, and we will afford students time for their meals before we begin the CCA. And most of the time, the CCA will end at about 5 to 5:30.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so we have a question which will direct to our Vice Principal, Ms. Wong. So the question is, are there any locker for every student?
Oh, well, in AES, we do not have the locker system for our students. And all our students, we have actually taught them that they need to be prepared for the lessons daily by packing their bags the day before. As for those students who wish to leave some of their stationery in class or in school, then just to let you know that in every classrooms we have built-in cabinet for students to share. All right. So in this case, they can leave their things behind, but ultimately they are responsible for their own belongings. So in general, all right, especially for the current COVID situation, we are not encouraging our students to leave their learning materials in school. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Wong. Okay, so now we have a question whereby a parent asks, where do the child who takes Hindi language as second language will have to go to? So for Hindi classes, they are managed by the board for the teaching and testing of South Asian languages. So the child will need to register for weekend classes, which is the class will be carried out on a Saturday at the designated Hindi language centers. Currently in the West areas, the centers are at Teck Whye Secondary School as well as Lakeside Primary School. So not to worry, our school will provide the necessary information to parents to facilitate the registration for the child for Hindi classes during Set 1 registration. Okay, so next we'll move on to the next question. Okay, so now we are going to switch Mr. Desmond Wong out to invite Miss Faye Eileen. Oh, sorry. So sorry. We have another question for Mr. Desmond Wong. Okay. So the question is, okay. So in the slides, it was seen that the school has a green club for a CCA. Okay, so maybe Mr. Wong might want to share a bit more about the green club CCA.
Hey, okay, sure, no problem. All right, for yes, we do offer Green Club as a CCA. So what the students do will actually they will learn more about gardening and about the environment. So the thing is, for Green Club, the CCA day is only on Tuesday. Yeah, they only have one CCA day in a week. All right. But most importantly, we will create a curriculum for them in such a way that they will learn about the environment. And so students who are interested in all these and in this area, they are able to join this CCA.
Okay. So another question for Mr. Wong as well is with regards to the judo girls team. Parent would like to know what is the achievements and the performance of the judo team for girls like.
Mm. Okay, thank you. All right, so for judo, I'm proud to say that our judo girls are very tough women, and because why do I say? Because over the past 2 years of national school games, we actually we are able to put our name on the national stage and win all the competitions that we have participated. So we have win individual bouts before, and of course, and on a team level. All right. So I would say to answer this question, right, our judo CCA is quite strong in this area. Yeah.
Can I just add? I think for the judo girls, I think the C division girls, they came in team third position last year, and then individually they got 1 silver as well as 3 bronze. They had 1 silver and 3 bronze. That's for last year. Yeah.
All right. Okay. So we have come to the end of our live Q&A session. So thank you everyone for joining us today. We will appreciate it if you can give us feedback based on today's session. So what you can do is you can scan the QR code on the right-hand corner of the slides. And also after this session, you may make use of the same URL link to review today's video again. And also you can also view the live engagement sessions from other days via our YouTube channel. Okay, so once again, thank you very much for being with us today. And before going off, we will leave you with 2 more videos. Okay, so bye.
Hello, I'm Kaylin and this is Atika. Hi. Is this your first time in our campus? Yes, it is. It looks very big. Come, we'll show you around. But before that, please take your temperature and do the safe scan. Welcome to our school library. Please write your name down and sanitize your hands. Don't worry, I'll help you to write it. What we really love about our school library is the space. The tables, chairs, and air conditioning create the perfect environment for many of us to study in after school.
Totally. Sometimes we even have lessons and consultation with teachers here. Wow, that's nice. It's so spacious and there are even couches here. I look forward to studying here with my friends after school.
Yup, there's a wide range of books of different genres in this library. Besides books, we have newspapers and magazines. Welcome to ASE Cabin. ASE stands for After School Engagement. Here, students can come and take a break from studying, play games, and bond with each other. There are workshops conducted here from 10 to 5 for the students to use. Hey, there's Jason. Let's start.
Welcome to our AES soccer field. Do you know the under 15 national football team actually trains on this very field each week?
Yes, because of our field, we have enjoyed many activities here as a school.
Do you remember last year? We had water soccer and the Assumptionites challenge that ended off with the slide down the inflatable castle.
Yeah, I had so much fun with my classmates splashing around. Remember when our teacher joined us in the Assumptionite challenge as well? Group bonding time with them too.
And of course, besides the school activities, our soccer and softball CCA sessions are also conducted here.
Also offers judo as a CCA. And we even have a special room called the dojo for the judokas to train in. A very warm welcome to the dojo. Our training may be tough, but that's what makes us judokas all the more stronger. I appreciate how we would cheer one another up when some parts of the training seem difficult. That often gives me the motivation to continue pushing on. So let's take a look at how we train.
Let's go, Chelsea!
Let me show you another relaxing spot around school. These are the counseling rooms. Hi, Mr. Chan.
Oh, hello there. Where are you up to?
We're currently bringing our new friend around school.
Oh, hi. if you need to know someone who is going through a rough patch and need a listening ear, feel free to drop by my office.
Mr. Chen is our school counselor. In AES, we have 2 school counselors, an allied educator for learning and behavioral support, and a student welfare officer. All of them are very approachable. We are really fortunate to have Mr. Chen in our school.
Oh, you're welcome. And feel free to drop by if you want to.
Sure, we will. We'll catch up with you later.
Sure.
Bye-bye.
Bye.